Watson from the National Ballet. This is Natalie from Super Super, who came down and just loved it. And Craig, we spent a lot of time with her and made this one, which is my favourite. So this is Cotton Wool we're moving by to pretend to be clouds. Lily Cole, who I'm sure some of you know, we made her into a flower. Again, if you can just spend time, and it's very simple to build up an image. Peter Jensen, he said he really likes to display inspiration on number 5 in his hair, so could you do that? Yeah, fine. Felder and Felder, fashion designers, and sisters, so they played on that. And Shona Heath, which I quite like, is a set designer. Brought down a blue mask and we kind of did the hair. Let me show you one more, then I'll start talking. Fred Butler, who again is a prop designer and came down with some friends of hers from ID magazine. They just spent hours just playing with it and creating these really intricate, really nice. It's a lobster. And this was the last one we did. Jodie Harsh. And finally, something everyone does with the grid is close-ups of eyes. So Marius came down and did that. And that's it.
We do this kind of talk show format occasionally in different countries. We've done a couple here. And I never ask people in advance what they're going to present. So it's always an amazement to me what is coming up. That's really good, Rose.
Please go down and see it.
Yeah, please go and see the New Bird Street.
Yeah.
Okay, what number?
Number 2.
Number 2, right. Okay, straight on to Jason Bruges Studio. Jason and I have worked together on lots of different stuff, interactively combining our technologies. One of the world's leading interactive, I'll be very careful what I say, interactive lighting interactive lighting designer? Oh, and amongst other things, yeah. Okay, Jason Bruges.
Yeah, the studio, in terms of, sort of digital design, operates a kind of weird area between architecture, art, and interaction design. So, my architecture friends know I'm not an architect. My artist friends say I'm an artist, and most of the interaction designers I know they say I'm certainly not an interaction designer. So, make up what you will. We use light a lot, so hence the kind of lighting design label. Most of the work uses interactivity in some way, whether it's purely responsive systems, closed loops, conversations, people, environments. But the common thread is linking these things into the built environment. So it's kind of thinking about kind of interactive media applied to architecture and the built environment and spaces that we inhabit. So it's very much spatial, it's very much thinking about the spaces we design. So anyway, I'll show you a movie. This is, I'll show you some tests, things. This is a piece. Now this is a test we've been doing in the studio for the Sensory Theatre, the Martyn Ware.
Yeah.
So you get the idea. There's a 3-dimensional microphone which the children in the Sensory Theatre can blow on and interact with, and it's basically creating a 3-dimensional windscape which augments also changing cloud patterns, wind blowing through the wood and this kind of thing. But it's an idea of exploring some unusual interactions. Most children in this instance can't actually use their hands or feet or interact in the usual way, and actually blowing is quite a sort of common way of interaction. In the same school, we're working with Martyn, collaboration. And let roll on the screen. This is a dado whale, which wraps around a circular room, and again it's very much about the interaction being tactile. You touch the data rail and you let loose sounds and patterns that migrate along the dado rail. They have different lengths, speeds. It also vibrates as well, so there's actually vibration actuators all the way along the rail, embedded LEDs and light-dependent resistors within the surface of the silicon, the polyurethane.
I'd like an entire room like that with silicon walls. That'd be cool.
It's quite nice to play with different elements of space in different ways. This is something we did some time ago. Which is it's a lobby for a hotel, but it records your movements and plays back the colour you're wearing through the walls. And the longer you stay there, the longer the colours you actually upload onto the walls through the space stay there. I sort of liken it to this electronic blotting paper. So it just sort of soaks them up. There's a series of wide-angle webcams in the ceiling that basically look at the movement, look at the change in the space. But not only that, we have some fun with floors as well. This is me walking around the stage we worked on for 1.0 Industries and Willie Williams for George Michael's tour. And my movement is basically changing the texture of the stage. It's an LED matrix. There's a thermal camera tracking my movement. But these are kind of like testing these things out, but very much like to actually start implementing them in buildings. So here's another test from the studio. Thought we got back to whole presentation. Layer up. So this is our studio wall at the moment. It's got a grid of cold cathode tubes on it which respond to all sorts of things. People walking through the space, people going up to it, people dwelling there. It gets more kind of violent and exciting with the crowd. We're looking at kind of how crowds react and its possibility, looking at kind of sort of dwell times. Things like stadiums, looking at how people occupy the sort of stands and the kind of general crowd movements and kind of things like the Mexican wave as a gesture can trigger off light patterns. So we've been looking at that at the moment, sort of actually looking at sort of global things.
Imagine if a stadium glowed more. Like the Munich Stadium can change colour, for instance, the new Munich Stadium. If that glowed brightened more intensely, according to how much sound is generated by the crowd, that would be fantastic. Totally.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other thing we've been playing around with is actually crowds moving around large spaces. Earlier in the year, we tracked the movement of people across London Bridge and played it back on the truss of Tower Bridge. So this was actually using the kind of stream and the movement of all the commuters in and out of the city as a device to control the environment. We were mapping all the Bluetooth identities within the phones, and playing it back as a kind of visual field on the bridge. And we're planning to repeat that next year, but actually stretching into the city and into Southwark, so we can actually map and log a larger sort of block of sort of city life and what's actually happening. And using this CFL technology, which is basically a fairly low cost lighting technology, low energy too. We're mapping Queen's Museum of Art in New York, and this is a test at the moment. But this is using pedestrians as well as vehicles as a generator for a large-scale architectural pattern. This is something very interesting to develop a lot further. Make it meaningful as well, so if you log into it and creates real-time signage. You might have directions paired to your phone. Also access sort of ambient sort of landmark. But another project we're looking at for an underpass in Milton Keynes.